set it up, and they've carried through.
Two big guys going at it, boy.
This is a big guy battle. Wow.
An advantage for the Ranger. Remke has no helmet for Johnston, so those punches are going to hurt a little more when they land.
Let them go.
One guy 6'7". How big's Johnston? 6'5".
No, I think he's 6'7" also. Yeah, they're doing it. That's pretty good size.
Don't you love it? Oh, yeah. Don't you love it? I'm Paulie D. He's Chris Kotsopoulos. This is the Instigators Hockey Show. Welcome to the Friday night edition. Chris has got his buddy over there, Jimmy Beam. I don't have anything as of yet, but that's going to change real quick. We got so much to talk about, man. Lots to talk about. I am in a fucking really, really rare mood, just so everyone knows. I am hot and bothered. I've been pissed off for a week now. And
I wonder why.
Yeah.
Why?
All I have to say, I don't even know if I should get started yet. I'm so aggravated. All I have to say is that Allegiant Airlines can kiss my motherfucking ass. Okay? My motherfucking ass. I hate you fucking people. Okay? So, just so you know. Yes, I missed 3 times, got delayed. 3 times. Supposed to leave Saturday afternoon at around 6 p.m. Call Mr. Chris Kotsopoulos up and say, Kots, got delayed. We're going to leave at 8 o'clock. Get to the airport, look at the board. Oh, now we're going to leave at 9:30. The fuck are we doing? 9:30. Okay. Well, we definitely leaving. Oh, we're definitely leaving. 10:12 comes around. I'm texting Kotzi, going to board the plane. They make an announcement. The plane's going to land in 10 minutes. We can get these people off and get you on. I'm all excited. I'm heading down to PA, buddy. I'm going to be there.
Well, how many times did I have the green light to go?
Fuck.
I was like, the car was ready to go each time, and then it finally was, fuck you.
10 minutes to 12, I call Cots up. Hey, buddy. I catch the plane in the morning about 10:45.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be at the fucking arena at 10:45. Let me tell you something. You're lucky it was all women.
Stadium, they missed you.
Let me tell you something. There was all women there because I was going to kick someone's fucking ass just for the sake of kicking someone's ass. I was so fucking mad. Here I am. Chris Kotsopoulos sends me a couple of pics. He's enjoying the game. He's got the I even got the fucking tickets on my phone. I still got the tickets on my phone. Still, once in a lifetime. Chris is hanging out with the Ranger alone.
I really felt bad for it until I got into one of the suites, and then I forgot all about you.
You fucking bastard. It's going to wear that fucking jersey right there at the game. It's going to wear that. That's why it's hanging right now. See?
You did miss out. You did miss out on an extraordinary day.
Dude, my fucking school broke. I'm so angry.
You know, I
got to wrap these fucking 20s around something, man.
I mean, I don't think I've ever seen anything like it yet. All these tailgaters out there early, Paulie, and it was freezing too. Like we're not talking like Tampa weather here. We're talking like Nanook of the North weather. The wind was just blowing, but it didn't stop the hockey fans, and I would probably say, I'll be nice, 65 to 70% of them were Ranger fans. Didn't stop them from doing the barbecue and slurping down the cocktails, playing a little of that stupid whatever game they play now, where you throw it in the hole. I don't know what it's called. I'm too old, guys. Put up with me. Got to see my boy, Mr. Ron Duguay and Ron Greshner, Colton Norms, because just name a few guys. Eddie Johnstone, teammate of mine, was there. Colton Orr, had a good chat with him. That dude's still one of the toughest guys I ever seen fight. That's for sure.
Eddie Johnstone, my God.
Siggy was his nickname back then, but he was there. Adam Graves, Mark Messier, Henrik Lundqvist, they were all in the New York Rangers suite. But, I went back and forth from that suite to a few other suites. I was in a suite with Ron Duguay, who brought his lady, Sarah Palin. Got to meet Sarah Palin. Awesome lady. Sat down, had some, drinks with her and Ron. And I also, for any of the New York Jets fans out there, a real good friend of mine, you might remember him from basically from the 80s, New York Jets middle linebacker Greg Buttle, who's just one awesome guy. I've known him for a long time now. He was in a suite down the hall from us, so we just kept going back and forth and, causing all kinds of bullshit. But just to see the game, Paulie, like viewing wise, I'm going to be honest with you, it wasn't that great because the fans are way, way back from the rink. But to see almost 80,000, Paulie, 80, just under 80, I think it was like 500 less or something like that. 80,000 people watching this game. I would have never dreamt of anything like that in an NHL game in my lifetime growing up. Yeah, you better get that shit going over there, big boy. New York Rangers, and what a game. What a game, I don't think they could have drawn up a better story on how the game ended for the New York Rangers, but the whole thing was just fantastic. I'm sorry you didn't make it. Next time, listen to Uncle Chris. Come in 2 days early instead of playing the stupid game. I asked Paulie to come in on a Friday. Don't worry about it. Well, we'll be all okay on Saturday. Well, look what happened. That's
Allegiant Airlines, I'm coming for you!
That's right, cornhole. That's right. How come you know that, Michael? Because you're old or you're young? Which one? Cornhole. That to me, that's a stupid game. But
Wait a minute, I'm a fucking cornhole champion. I love cornhole.
Oh, you play that? We used to play that shit back in the 60s and 70s. Now it's good.
Cornhole and horseshoes. I love both of them. Listen, to answer anybody's questions, I was flying into Pennsylvania to be with Kotze, and then we were going to the game from there. That's why it was the only direct flight I could get to go to Allentown, Pennsylvania. So
could have left on a business day instead of a non-business day.
I could have left Friday. I didn't. I understand. I will never make that mistake again. I'm going to leave fucking 10 days in advance, for Christ's sakes, next time. But I digress, and we got to move on.
Yeah. Great game.
Right.
Great game. Great atmosphere.
So let's pick it up from there. Well, we're going to stop there. We're going to go backwards. Beth, I want to thank you for all your help. A lot of good stuff. First and foremost, we're going to get into the little hockey news around the league.
Yeah.
Kotze.
Where do we start?
I'll tell you where I'm going to start. The Winnipeg Jets. We talked about this a little bit before. I have the article. It's crazy because the Winnipeg Jets, they're in the playoff hunt. They're a pretty good hockey team.
They're one of the top 5 teams in the league.
Right. Over the last 3 years, their attendance has dropped almost 30%.
Yep.
Now, just think, the current Phoenix Coyotes, or whatever they are, Arizona Coyotes, are the former Jets. Correct?
Yep.
Over the last 3 years, 30% drop in attendance. The Jets have actually asked Gary Bettman to step in and see what they can do to get more corporate sponsors. And, this is a real problem. This is a real problem for the NHL because everyone knows how bad Winnipeg wanted their team back and how much Canada supports professional hockey. excuse me, but this is a serious, serious blow, man. This is a serious situation.
Yeah, the owner, I think his name is Mark Chipman, says that they're averaging about just under 9,000 a game, and they need 13,000 to maintain the pace. He says if it doesn't work out to 13,000 a game in the next few years, there's going to be a lot of trouble there. And I did read the comments because the story I read it from was obviously a Canadian website, but I started reading the comments underneath it. All the people like to make their keyboard warrior comments like almost everybody does. And
Sure.
the biggest problem most people are saying is it's the cost of tickets, the cost of going to a hockey game in Canada because of all the liberal bullshit laws. They're getting taxed to the top of their heads. That's what they're saying. That's exactly what a lot of them are griping about, saying it's hard for us to pay, to go to a game now. And I probably have to agree with them because I'm born and raised in Canada. Listen, Canada totes its free medical and all this crap. Nothing's fucking free, okay? You and I know that. It's not free. Taxes get you one way or the other. And it seems like that's what the fans are talking about, because Winnipeg cried for a long time when their team left. And then when they finally got them back, it was the happiest city in North America. Now all of a sudden, they're not showing up. And we're not talking about a 15, 20,000 seat stadium here, Paulie.
Right.
We're not talking about an 18, 20,000 seat stadium that most teams have these days.
Right.
So that's a concern. I'm sure Gary Bettman's not too happy to hear about it, but when you got a good team like that, how about going out and support them? Maybe you should tell that guy that runs Canada to cut the taxes on the people because he's nothing but a piece of shit anyways. Anyway, I digress. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, again,
kind of like the piece of here too, but we'll stop right there. Go ahead.
I'll say it. Fuck Joe Biden. Go Brandon. I tell you, it's crazy because in the end, man.
Then you got before we finish that, then you got Arizona coming up and saying that they've made $1 million at least 4 times in 4 games this year. You know what I mean? With a stadium that only holds 4,600. Right. But they still have no plan for Arizona either.
No. Well, and it brings me to, we keep talking about, there's no reason for expansion. Relocation, maybe. Expansion, no.
Oh,
expanding, relocating first.
Somebody threw a number at Gary Bettman in the last couple of weeks is $1 billion enough to get a new team? And he didn't say no. Think about that.
I got something for you there. I put something up on the board there. There you go.
Oh, my.
Oh, man.
All right, where do we go? I'm going to go next. The next thing I want to talk about, yes, it's my hometown, Toronto, and the Toronto Maple Leafs, who are on fire. Not quite as on fire as the New York Rangers are, but they're on fire lately. And it's all due to, I know I'm repeating myself from our last show, but boy, Austin Matthews. Paulie, I've been watching more and more of the Leafs this year than I ever have, only because I want to see this guy and the goals that he's scoring. He's got 52 goals in 55 games right now.
Yeah.
Okay? Folks, he's the best pure goal scorer in the league right now. That's all there is to it. There's nobody even like within 2 tiers of him as far as I'm concerned. 52 goals in 55 games. And he single-handedly right now is keeping the Leafs in that middle of the pack, upper pack of elite teams in the NHL right now. And, boy, it's just amazing to watch the way he scores his goals, Paul. He does it every which way you want to count. Mostly from shooting, sometimes from in close, sometimes from outside the circles. He's just there's nothing he can't do when it comes to putting puck in the net. Last night, he scored his second goal of the game where it went off of a defenseman, hit him in the shoulder, and went into the net. So that's just the way it goes with goal scorers. You know, but you got to really love what's going on with him right now. And I think the Leafs are hot right now, but I still worry about their goaltending, and I still worry about their defensive play when it comes to crunch time in the playoffs. But for now, you got to enjoy what Austin Matthews is doing. I mean, it's just a player.
6 hat tricks in a season, and he's not even done.
6 in one season.
I mean, there's players that have played their whole career without 6 hat tricks.
That'd be a good one, right there. If he's got 6 in one season, wonder what Gretzky did when he had 92 that year. How many he got that year?
Yeah,
that's a good one to find out. That'd be a good one to find out. Did he? Gretzky probably never got 6 hat tricks that year. I'm guessing he might have got a hat trick or 2 against me when I was playing, but
Yeah.
Cheers, everybody! Cheers.
Matthews is definitely dynamic. 6 hatties in a season. I'd be curious to know how many hat tricks Wayne Gretzky had.
Yeah, we're going to have to look that one up. We are definitely going to have to look that one up. How many hat tricks did Wayne Gretzky when he scored 92 goals?
Well, you would think that if Matthews broke a record,
he's on pace for 70 goals right now.
Wow, that would be something else, man.
Yeah.
Haven't seen that since the likes are fucking, Lemieux and Yager and
Curry.
Brett Hull, right?
Brett
Hull, I think, had a 70-goal season, didn't he?
And I'm not positive, but I think maybe Bernie Nichols too, or 60. Bernie had 68 or 70. I can't remember.
Bernie Pickles. Yeah, I remember.
Bernie was a smooth player, man. He could dangle with the puck and put the puck in the net. No question about it. He still does it now in the old timers games. He hasn't missed a thing. I've played with him a few times.
Yeah.
That's what I got to find out. I got to find out how many hat tricks did Wayne Gretzky have that year when he scored 92 goals. 10 in a season twice. Thank you, Michael. He had 10 hat tricks in a season twice in his career. I'm so proud to be part of that.
It's hilarious. Hilarious. Oh, man, I'm sore, man. Yeah. I went
81, 82. Wow.
10 and 81 and 82.
Yeah, the Gretz. I think he got pissed off. I know one thing, that they were just saying he was just a playmaker at the time. He was more of a playmaker, not a goal scorer. So he quietly got pissed off and popped 92. Just to let everybody know that he had that in him.
Yeah. He was just so beyond. Ruzicka.
Yeah. Well, little cocaine. A little Colombian cocaine. I don't know what's going on with that story.
I forgot who sang the song. I love the cocaine. I love the cocaine.
I don't remember that.
Wow. Put on waivers by the Coyotes. He was just picked up by the Coyotes not that long ago.
I don't think it really matters much that he got let go.
Posting shit on Instagram. Are you a fucking idiot?
Yeah, They are. This modern day athletes can't live without Twitter, can't live without Instagram, what is it, X now? I don't know. They can't live without this shit. They can't live without it.
Fucking idiot.
Yeah, I didn't see the video, but I did see a still shot of him with the vial where the coke was supposed to be in his mouth. Now,
what are you doing, man?
That's just pure dumbness. That's all that is. He's dumber than a squash ball. Figure it out, folks.
Guys, but when do you have to test? What, the beginning of the season is the one time? Do you test one time?
I have no idea what the modern day rules are. All I know is when I played for 10 years, they took our blood, they took our urine, but there was no rule. There was no league rule at the time that they could confront you about anything. But it was almost kind of like talking out of the side of your mouth. They took our blood and took our urine. What's to say your GM doesn't check anyways? You know, with the team doctors who are always in the pockets of the owners anyways. So they would, I'm sure that the GMs knew back then too of guys that were dabbling and not dabbling. You know what I mean? But you couldn't use it against us back then. That's all I remember.
Really?
No, there was no rule.
Really?
There was no rule back then.
Hey, Beth, thank you. See, I told you there was a song.
Luxury. Yeah. That's the band where all four of the guys look like they're on heroin. All four of them.
And that's why they say they love the cocaine, bro.
Skin tight veins, tattoos, all 112 pounds each. I know who they are now. Okay.
I love the cocaine.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. They also say some other nice words too in that song.
What a dummy, man. You got to be a dummy. That's
just crackers. And I looked at his numbers. It's not like he was doing anything great offensive. I think he had like 4 goals and like 9 assists so far this year.
Yeah. I think what I read, though, is, Phoenix or the Arizona. Arizona just picked him up not too long ago on waivers, right?
Yeah, well, they picked him up just to drop him.
Yeah, well.
I think he's going to have a tough time explaining himself to Lucy on that one. Let's put it that way.
Yeah,
he's going to have a tough time with that one.
Lucy!
Oh, yeah.
We got some explaining to do!
Not going to happen.
That was such a great fucking show, man.
Oh, wasn't it?
Oh, my God.
She's still the greatest woman, comedian, actress of all time.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I would like to see her on skates.
Oh my God, I got some explaining to do.
Can you imagine Ricky doing a little Babaloo on skates?
Fucking damn. Yeah. That's when the world was, still pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Now you don't even know.
Oh.
People don't even know.
Oh, I'm
all
offended.
right.
Oh, you just offended me. Stop.
Yeah.
That's offensive.
I'm gonna put this back up though, because this is gonna stay up all night now. I told you, I'm in a rare mood tonight, man. I'm all fired up. I'm still pissed off. I missed that fucking game. I'm still pissed off, man. I'm gonna be pissed off probably till the end of the month. Okay? But it is what it is. Kotzi did send me a care package, which is very appreciated.
On the way, and you'll display it on the next show.
Yep, it'll be all over. I don't know. Did you want to go? Did you want to go somewhere? You got something?
No, you said you had a whole bunch of crap lined up. Let's hear it.
Well, I just want to talk about. I want to get into some rants. I want to get fired up here.
Yeah, do it.
Well, all right. Well, I got the okay. Ding, ding. Here we go.
Gloves are off. Remember those days?
Yep. The gloves are off. All right.
We need to bring that back with the bell and the gloves are off.
Yeah. I got to get that soundbite I made. That was pretty good stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just going to state it the way it is. Last night, New York Rangers played the New Jersey Devil. Matt Rempe lays into what's his name? Bastion.
Bastine.
Hands are down, feet are on the ice. Just runs him the fuck over into next week. Now, one of the reasons why, just so everyone knows, because I watched this a few times, I'm pretty sure Bastion's stick got hung up and hit him in the face, and that's why it was cut on the tip of his nose. Just so you know. Because when Rempe came in, there was a Ranger there, and I don't remember who it was. But when he crushed Bastion, I think his stick came around and hit him in the face. Now, He gets a match penalty in the game. A match penalty after review. This isn't just calling it. We're going to review it. We get on the phone. We're looking at the iPad. We're talking to people. He gets a match fucking penalty. That means he gets a game misconduct for intent to injure a player. That's what the match penalty is. It's intent to injure another player. Today we hear there'll be no ruling. There'll be no discipline because the league's all fucked up and they can't get it right. How can you tell me on the ice, on the phone with Toronto, what happened? What happened? How can you tell me? And then today, there's no review. Well, you know what? There's no. Are you fucking kidding me? You contradict yourself because you're that bad. You're that fucking bad. You're that bad. How do you do that? It's a match penalty. Intent to injure. You could have cost the team the game. You have this player who's fucking 7'1" on skates.
Probably taller.
His fucking arm is down. His feet are on the ground. And the player he hits is bent over. Is he supposed to crawl on his knees first? And then you don't review it today because you know you were fucking wrong and you got it wrong from Toronto. You're on the phone. Are you fucking kidding me? It's a debacle. Gary Bettman, pack your bags. Get the fuck out of here because your people don't know what you're doing. You're fucking up the game. I'm done for now.
I love it. I'll be the calmer guy here on this one, okay?
Am I wrong?
No, you're not. You're not wrong. It was a bullshit call, and I know all the people are going to sit there and talk about, well, you hit him in the head. Yeah, you hit him in the head. What do you want a guy 6'8.5" to do? You want him to bend to the ground? You want him to go on his knees, cruise in like that to hit somebody? Baston had the puck along the boards. He was tied up with another New York Ranger. Matt Rempe just got on the ice at the time, saw an opportunity to make a hit, and he made the hit. He did not follow through with any elbow like Alex Ovechkin does. He did not jump off his feet like Alex Ovechkin does. He didn't do any of that shit. And yeah, I'll admit it, he hit him in the face. What guy that's 6'8.5" is not going to hit you in the face if you're 6'2" or less? We went through this before, you and I, Paulie, on the old show. When Zdeno Chara was getting all kinds of abuse because he was hitting guys here and there, I said, what do you want him to do? You want him to play on his knees so he's even with everybody? And so now it's apparently last night's hit by Matt Rempe, a guy who the Rangers are enjoying having on their team, okay, giving him a little bit of balls. You're trying to take away something from his game now because of what? Oh, he's just too big. Oh, my God. You're just too big. You know, if you were only 5'11" and you did that, you'd have got away with it. But, you know, you're 6'8", so, you know, you're just too big. So now we're going to penalize guys because they're too big, and the idiots on the receiving end don't have their heads up at the same time. I've been saying it for years. You can change every rules you want. You can change the way players play. You can change everything you want. You gotta keep your lid up when you play hockey. Matt Rempe got screwed last night. Yeah. And here's my biggest problem. My biggest problem with it now, and I'm a little worried about it because I've seen this happen before. Is he going to back up a little bit now and not quite be quite as eager to make body contact anymore because the NHL has put a mark on him now, Paulie. One way or the other, they put a mark on him. So is he going to be a little bit hesitant now when that opportunity arises? I certainly hope not.
Me neither.
I certainly hope not.
Me neither.
Because if that happens, then the NHL, you just submarined a guy's career, basically. That's what you've done. All because you're horse shit, soft. Let's play, ballet hockey.
Well,
no, you're not wrong, Paul. You're not wrong. To me, it was a clean hit. I don't care if he gets hit in the face. It's like later in the game. Like we're going to talk about something different here, just to equate it. When Zibanejad got hit in the face with a stick, remember? Oh, it didn't matter though because it was an accident. Oh, really? You remember that late in the third period? He got hit in the face with a stick, and they didn't call a damn thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but we're gonna call Rempe because he's just too big, Bally.
Well, listen. Here's my problem. I've thought about this all day, and
I agree with you, though. I agree. They weren't going to call shit until they started reviewing stuff.
Well, here's the thing that drives me nuts. They fucking review it. They're on the phone. They got to review. Oh, we got to review it. You got nothing today. You didn't get. Well, we're gonna back. Honestly, as a businessman in my fucking head, I would have thought to myself, well, you know what? The refs called it on the ice, and we called it into Toronto. We better make this look legitimate today, but they ain't even that fucking smart. They're not even that smart. They did nothing today because they looked at it and said, hands are down, feet are down, the player's bent over slightly, and the guy's fucking 9 foot tall. It's a good fucking play. There should have never been a call on the ice, especially a match penalty. He has a record now for an intent to injure another player, and it should be superseded. It should be appealed, especially now that the league hasn't felt that it needs to be reviewed or discussed about again. I would now review it backwards and say I want this expelled from his fucking record.
Yeah, it's a joke, Paul. Yeah, but it's the way of the NHL. They pick and choose.
So now here's the other part of it.
Like you said, you reviewed it, and during the game they reviewed it. And obviously, they told the refs it's a match penalty, throw them out of the game. And then today, nothing. That's George Perelson, the ex-NHLer is in charge of player discipline in the NHL.
He's probably one of the dirtiest fucking guys who played the game.
Well, listen, I didn't mind him as a player. He did what he had to do for his team, but I'm just trying to – the contradiction here of him being in charge of this, knowing that he hit guys like that in his day, because he was another one that was like 6'5", 6'6" himself. Okay? That's the problem I'm going to have with this now is I'm going to watch closely tomorrow, okay, against Philadelphia, because – they have a guy on their team that's pretty tough too, Delorier. So if Rempe's in the lineup, I'm pretty sure those guys are going to have a little chat or a little dance. But I just want to I hope to God that Matt Rempe does not change his style at all.
Well, here's the good part of this. Just before the start of the show, I wanted to listen to what Laviolette said.
All right.
Laviolette said much of what you said. Listen. And what I said, everything was down. It's one thing if Rempe throws his arm up, okay? That's another thing. That's another thing. Everything's down. He knew the hit was clean. He said, it's an unfortunate case. The man's just a bigger man, okay?
Yep.
I think Laviolette, obviously, for once in our fucking life now, we got a coach that's going to play this kid, okay? But to him and Enstrom and Goodrow on a line, it's like, they got the Twin Towers and then they got the pit bull in the middle. It's beautiful. It's changed the identity of this team. This fourth line has changed the identity of this team. And I believe Laviolette is going to tell this kid, hey, kid, you go out there and you play your game. We got you. I think he will. I honestly think he will. Because after listening to what he said, and then he said he's going to review it. We all reviewed it. The kid did nothing wrong at all. And that's why the league reviewed it today, because you goddamn right they fucking reviewed that today, and they didn't feel like there was any discipline needed. But again, when you have a match penalty, I'm concerned because it's coming from Toronto. And then they review it and they say, well, it just looks like they fucked up. really, to be honest with you.
Well, they did.
Look at Ryan. Look at O'Reilly. What's his name? Riley. You know, with the stick from Toronto.
Yeah.
He got all the penalties in the game, and they threw the book at him in the game.
Yeah.
He got a 5, a 10, a 2, everything.
And a 5-game suspension.
And he
tried to appeal it and didn't win.
So I think the good thing is that they're going to tell Rumpy, hey, kid, you go out there and you play your game.
Well, they should. I mean, something like that. What he brings to the team is something they've lacked for quite a few years, actually, when you think about it. What he brings to the team is an intimidating factor that players on the other team have to be aware where he is and on the ice. In the short time he's been with the Rangers, I've already noticed, because I'm a former defenseman. I can see them looking around. Where is he? You know, the defense is starting to take a peek over their shoulders when they see the fourth line on the ice. And that is so important, because if you look at all the Stanley Cup winners, every team has a line like that, where the defense, they may be fourth liners, but shit, you know, if the puck's in our zone, these guys are going to hit us and hit us and hit us and hit us for 60 minutes, you know? Right. And I think it's important, because it makes the game a lot easier for your other lines to go out there after you've worn down. And Rempe brings that. He hits with meaning, Paulie. I mean, his first game, full-time game was at the outdoor game. And, you know, I noticed it there, and then I noticed it the other night. When he goes to hit somebody, you can hear it. I can hear it through my TV. When's the last time you heard a sound like that? You can hear the hits coming from him and Edstrom and Cooley through the TV now.
Yeah. Yep.
It's not just that rub-off hit. Okay, I touched you, that's a hit. No, we're hitting with ill intentions here. I want to hit you and hit you hard. And it makes a big difference. And the other key to it is, it makes all the other players maybe take a little bit more liberty themselves now when it comes to actually using their body.
Agreed.
It's a trickle-down effect. The guys, well, you know, I have no fear now that their guy is going to do anything to us now, because we have a guy that's going to equate that guy or even that guy up. You know what I mean? These are little games inside the game that the players know, the players appreciate.
Right.
Fans might not understand it right away, but just having him in the lineup right now makes that team bigger, makes that team stronger, makes that team more aggressive.
Yeah. That whole line, you know, and then you add Enstrom. He fucking wants to put you through the boards too. He doesn't seem like he's going to be dropping the gloves. He will play you hard and ugly, man.
Well, look at Will Cooley. He's only dropped the gloves maybe, 2-3 times since he's been a Ranger? He still hits the shit out of people every chance he gets. They know he's coming. You know what I mean? They know that rep is coming. And that's a big thing. People have to understand that. That's just as big as a Panarin goal, having these guys do their job.
You made a great point, and I want to reiterate this because I think it's what we're seeing now. Ever since Rempe and Enstrom been in the lineup now, I'm starting to see, and you made this point, I'm starting to see other players play better inside their game. And then there's other guys you had mentioned before the show, and I noticed the same thing. Seems like Keandre Miller's got a little more nastiness in his game.
Last night he showed a little bit of it, didn't he?
And I thought he played that way with Dallas too.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see, you know, he's pushing people out of the front of the net, like hog tie your ass to get you out of here. He's taking people to the boards. You know, the other thing, just aggressively, you can see guys playing harder, uglier, stronger. Like you said, you're wearing teams down. It really has helped the Rangers find a new identity. And now you break down their lines and you're like, okay, you know, the new kid line with Kako and Cooley on it, with Brodzinski in there. They got a little dynamic of
let's give Brodzinski a little nod there. Good for him getting a one-way deal for 2 years. The guy's been a really good New York Ranger, whether he's been in the Hartford Wolfpack or he went up with the Ranger. Never complained, busts his balls. He deserves that contract, and good for him.
Yes. And I'll tell you what, I really like that line. And, 2-3 weeks ago, we were talking about, maybe Kakko's the odd man out. Now I'm
last week I was willing to trade him with a first-round draft pick for anybody at center. Remember?
Right now I want to hold on to him. Yeah. I like this line.
I agree.
Cooley's not afraid to play the physical. They have each dynamic there. Brodzinski's got his speed. He's quick with his hands.
He's got good hands.
Yeah, he's got good hands. You got Cooley, who's a rookie, who I believe has good hands. He's got good net front presence. He's not afraid to play that North American, bang it up in the corner, win puck battles. And then you got Kakko, who's very strong on the puck and does have skill. And this line is gelling, and they got a bunch of points over the last several games. I think
it's always about opportunity when you're in that situation.
Right. So now, and the other guy that I think has been awoken over the last 3 to 4 games is Mika Zibanejad.
Yeah.
And I've been waiting to talk about this because he's one of the guys I watch. I watch him and Kreider probably harder than I watch any other player. And
you certainly did this year, that's for sure.
Yeah. And I'll be the first one to tell you, for 70% of what we've seen, I have not been happy with Mika Zibanejad because I'm waiting for him to hit that next gear that I've seen in so many years past. There's one thing, you said it last year and it stuck in my head time and time again. This team goes as Mika goes.
Yeah.
And I never really seen Mika get to that second level this year. He was playing good. Listen, he's a dynamic hockey player. He's an excellent hockey player. He plays all sides of the puck. He's probably one of the best centermen in the game. If you watch Mika, he's very good positionally. And if he can't make it in position, he makes it in skill. But now it looks like these last several games, his skill level has propelled. I feel like his legs has gotten faster. I feel like he's more determined to get to the puck and make a play. And they look like a new team. It's this new blooming, and it's coming from the fourth line, like you said, because it's like they have a new identity where they have guys that are going to bang and crash and make people think and wear down the defensemen and wear down people, period, the end. And now all the other lines are able to do their jobs.
Well, I haven't been as harsh on Mika because his numbers were still pretty good, but I get your point about him not living up to what I've always said. I still stand by it. The team goes as Mika goes. It doesn't go as Panarin goes. And there's a reason why I say this. Panarin doesn't kill penalties.
Right.
Mika does.
Yeah.
Mika plays in all the situations where Panarin does not. So in order for this team to go and be on, in tune with each other, Mika's got to be the guy that, on the off nights of Panarin, Mika's got to step up, vice versa, back and forth. They got to play back and forth, these two guys off each other. When one's not doing it, the other should be doing it. But the reason why I say that is because he plays all positions, Paul. He's out there on the defensive side. Yeah. He's out there killing penalties on the power play. He's, basically you can call him the first line, second line. It doesn't really matter. And it's nice to see him wake up right now. Get to that point again where we're talking about him as being the guy that gets the team going. But the other guy I want to talk about too, and I know we've talked about him the last few weeks, but boy, is Alexei Lafreniere ever playing with a lot of confidence these days. I would shit on him if I was the coach, though. Even though he had a great game last night, I would have given him a big, talking to about trying to dipsy doodle with 2 minutes to go and cost Shesterkin the shutout. But overall, this guy is playing, and I said it to you pre-show, and I'm going to say it to the people listening. He's actually playing with a confidence of arrogance, a little bit of arrogance too. You know what I mean? Like he knows what he's doing with the puck now. He's winning the battles, and Paulie, those 2 goals he scored last night, I would bet right now that there's maybe 2 guys on the whole Ranger team that could have done that.
Panarin and Zibanejad?
Maybe. And that's a big maybe.
Yeah.
Those are very, very, like, great hands, high-skill goals he scored. Trust me on that. May not look like it to the people, but they weren't rifled shots. They just made the goaltender look stupid. You're going here, and I'm going there with it, and click, just a little flip up high.
Yeah.
They were like, those are goal scorers' hands. Now, I know a lot of people, I keep saying it every show, he's a fucking bust, he's a this. He's not a bust. He's just not living up to what a first overall is. The kid is playing well. He's playing good for the Rangers right now. He's having a good season, and he's going to be important from here all the way in.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. And again, I've been very hard on Lafreniere, and everyone knows that. But I have also come off the pedal with him because I've watched him progressively get better, play with more confidence.
Oh, he's as confident as he's ever been.
I think I hope that he can finish at a better rate because he, like we said, he gets opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. Last night was huge. Scored 2 good goals, like you said, very talented, very gifted goals. And like you said, he almost has an arrogance or a cockiness to it. And that bit him in the ass yesterday with blowing the fucking shutout for Shesterkin because it kind of bothered me because I really wanted Shesterkin to have that shutout.
I think they all did, but that happens. And from what, if you remember watching the game, Lafreniere went to him afterwards when they scored the goal, so he let him know he screwed up. So it's not like he didn't take the blame for it. But listen, it's a 5-1 win. You can't argue with it.
A W is a W, sure. And Shesterkin.
He's back.
Played.
He has to be. I told you when we were talking 2 weeks ago about. I told you I thought it would be a good thing for him not to start a couple games, just to get his head straight, to get a little fire built up inside him, get a little attitude. Like, I'll show you guys when I get my chance again.
Right, and we talked about that, and it's exactly what the doctor ordered. He was fantastic in that game against Dallas.
Oh, yeah.
I thought he was really good last night. I thought he played a smart game last night. I thought he played well. He was there when he had to be. The Devils had their chances. I just, like you said, he's back. And I kind of hope he gets to start tomorrow. The Rangers play back-to-backs, I think.
Yeah,
so I think he should play against the Flyers, and then maybe Quickie could do I think it's Blue Jackets on Sunday. I think Igor's deserved that, and I think it'll really just keep him on that momentum. But he's been good. The Rangers have been really good. I mean, we go back to the Stadium Series game. They're down 4-1 at one point, man.
They look like crap, honestly. They didn't play well.
And to say the best thing to come out of that, the greatest part to come out of that, aside from obviously gaining the win, is showing and believing, and they overcame. You don't want to play like that. That's bad habit type of shit. You don't want to do stupid shit like that. Okay.
Well, before you get going, I'll be honest with you. Those 4 goals that they scored, Shesterkin should have had it.
Yeah, he should have had a few of them.
They were not unstoppable shots.
I don't disagree.
He let it out of those 4. I'd say a minimum of the 3 he should have had.
Yeah. Well, the one tip in, I'll give it to him because it did get deflected on him. But I think it was Anders Lee on the right-hand side. That was a horrible goal. I was like, oh, my God, that was awful. But, what a comeback. What a victory. And I think that really was a booster. Listen, the Rangers have been playing a bunch of sub-500 teams, and they're building confidence. They're scoring goals. The big thing here is the power play clicked a little bit at the end of that game to help them get back in. Laviolette coached well in that game, making it a 6-on-4 twice, and they scored on both of those. So it was really good stuff that they did to win that game. and it helped boost him and come alive. But again, like I said, Mika's been playing better. I'm not going to be as hard on Kreider as I'd like to be. I still like to see Kreider over the last couple of games have been a little more physical. I think he should be a lot more physical, but that's just, I guess we're never going to see it again. But scoring big goals, power play goals, making things happen. Igor's playing well. Quick obviously is playing well. The team's come together. And now we're talking about, like we said, the new identity. One thing I'm concerned, well, not concerned, I'm wondering, just for the shits and giggles before we hit the trade deadline, is it worth bringing up Othman and putting him on the right side to see if he'll gel well enough with Mika? And I think that's the only hole, really, is that, Mika and Kreider kind of need a right winger. And I knew Jimmy Vesey was going to win that spot for a while. I just wonder if you just need more of a goal-scoring prowess or a guy, we talked about Vetrano, and he keeps coming into my head. If they were going to go pick up a guy, I would like Vetrano for that right wing for Mika Zibanejad, because he does play a North American style hockey game. He doesn't play the European style. He goes to and he's not afraid to fucking shoot the puck, man. He will shoot the puck. He's not going to pass the puck. He's going to shoot the puck. The way Mika can feed you, he's going to shoot the puck. And I think going into the playoffs, that's the one area I'd like them to see them just fine-tune. Everything else, I was telling Chris before, I'm not willing to give up Kakko at this point. I like that line, and I want it to stay intact.
I don't know what they're going to do now because things have changed. Obviously, what happened to Wheeler's not a good thing for him personally this stage of his career. But I got to say it like it is. In a sad way, it kind of was a good thing, for the Rangers. I hate saying that because I'm a former player, and you don't want a guy. You want to pick on a guy that tore up his knees, stuff like that. And he was playing good hockey, regardless of what people think. I don't care what anybody says. He was not, as bad as everybody was trying to make him out to be. I don't know what Drury's going to do now. He's got options, Paulie. He's got options now. You got options. I don't know about Othman coming up now. That might be just a little too much of bringing up too many young guys up at in one season. I mean, you brought up Cooley, you brought up Rempe, you brought up Edstrom. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's viable right now for them to bring up Othman right now as a fourth young guy. When you're trying to win a Stanley Cup, it's possible. It's not impossible, but I don't know what they're going to do at the trade deadline now. Yeah. I know what I want. I want to see Connor McKay back up, and I don't want to. He doesn't have to play every game. Just keep him around as a seventh, like Zach Jones, seventh, eighth defenseman. When you're going to play a physical game, put him in the lineup. You know what I mean? Forwards wise, yeah, it'd be great to get another scorer, but at what cost now? That's a big problem.
Yeah, you got to watch him.
When I was suggesting a first rounder, it's going to be a late first rounder, probably 27th to possibly 30th or whatever. And Kakko for Henrique, it didn't matter at the time. You know what I mean? At the time, but things have changed. The dynamics have changed on the team as it is right now. And what are you going to give up to get somebody? I don't know. You're going to have to give something up to get a goal scorer. That's all there is to it. And Frankie Vetrano doesn't sound like a high, buy by a team, but I guarantee you they're going to ask a shitload for him. You know what I mean? They're not going to give him away for nothing.
Yeah. No, I think you're going to have to give him a pick, like you said. You might have to give him 2 picks. But like I said, we're looking to win a Stanley Cup. I just think that's the one hole that I'd like to see filled. And the reason
I agree, but you got to give the VC thing a little more time too.
Okay,
you got to give guys time. I mean, he just went from a guy that was scratched a few times this year, okay, to a fourth line, to a third line, back to the fourth line. Now he's jumped up to 1A or 1B, whichever way you want to call it. And he's got to get used to playing with them, and they got to get used to playing with him. It's only been 2 games.
No, I get it, but I noticed that Laviolette keeps dropping him down to the fourth line and double shifting either Panarin or Lafreniere.
Yeah, man, I love that. Don't get me wrong. I love that. I love that in any kind of coaching in any sport. That you're not stubborn and you're going to stick to your game plan that you had before a game.
Right.
Laviolette understands the flow of the game and will drop guys down if they're not playing well and bring guys up if to the lines that are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's done that. He's done that all through the season, Paulie, where he's moved guys around up and down.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, man. I just think that line needs something. So,
I'm sure there's going to be something done. There's going to be something done for sure.
Yeah. Well,
are you going to get Tarasenko back?
What are they going to want from him?
But I'm just saying, there's a guy they're familiar with. There's a guy that actually played pretty decent with them last year, unlike Kane.
Right. Yeah. Well, like I said, I like Frankie Vetrano because Vetrano's not afraid to shoot. He's not going to play that heavy passing game. Tarasenko will pass the puck. The Europeans love to pass the puck. Fucking Vetrano will go up and down. He loves Mika Zibanejad. He loves Mika. He said he's interviewed and said Mika Zibanejad is the most underrated center in all of the NHL. He loves Mika Zibanejad, and he played with him, and he did fucking good for us. He will score goals on that side with Mika. Listen, I get it. It's a hard predicament. This team, why tinker with something? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
They've won 9 in a row, Paulie.
Right. But it ain't broke, don't fix it.
And it hasn't been against all sub 500 teams, by the way.
Nope. Dallas
was not a sub 500 team.
That Dallas game was a good game. I mean,
the Islanders, believe it or not, are above 500. So they're in a good spot right now. I mean, it's stay healthy is what they got to do too right now from here on in.
Right.
You got to stay healthy, and if something needs to be made a trade deadline, it's not like they don't have the cards to trade. They got the cards to trade.
They're stacked in defense.
It's just a matter of who.
If they give up a pick and a fucking Zach Jones or something, I'm all right with that.
Yeah.
Zach Jones, I got to tell you, from what I've seen from him,
he's not a bad player. He's a pretty good player.
He's NHL ready, Chris. He's NHL ready.
Yep.
And I think he would be an attribute for a team, especially a team, like the Ducks or something like that, where he's going to play fucking 20 minutes a game, man.
I kind of feel for him because I played on teams where we had that guy that was the 7th guy all the time, and boy, do they get, they're chomping at the bit to play, and yet they know it's the same grind every day. You practice with the boys finish practice, you got to stay out and do extra. The boys go home, you still got to stay in the workout afterwards. It's a tough thing, boy. You got to have tough skin and a good temperament to be able to put up with that shit day after day. Yeah. I seen guys probably walk into the dressing room hoping that their jersey's in the stall the night of a game, and they come in, they look, oh fuck, and they walk out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough on them. It's really tough on them.
Well, like I said, I mean, I think the kid's NHL ready.
Oh, I don't disagree with that, but I think he's unfortunate. I think he's a bad mix right now on the Rangers. They already have enough guys that like to handle the puck. You know what I mean?
And they have enough guys that are, that size.
Yeah.
I know Beth wanted me to talk about Lindgren, and I know how you feel about Lindgren.
Listen. I'll say it. Paulie's not going to change. I've told you this a thousand times. If Lindgren ever changed and became a little bit more safer out there, he wouldn't be a good player.
No. Chris, I get it. I get all of that. I'm thinking, I don't know how much longer this guy can play at the way that he plays. He plays like he's 6'6", 260 pounds.
That's a good thing, though, isn't it? In a way.
It's great, but he's 5'10", 190 pounds. So,
No, he's not a big guy.
He's
Not a
be
big
warped.
Yeah, but you know what? I know you and I have argued this how many times. He's not going to change. If he changes his style, he'll be less effective.
Again,
Period. End of story.
well, what I'm going to tell you is, and you're not going to like
You
it.
could be right 3 years down the road, okay?
He would be a guy that I would consider trading. That's what I'm saying. I'm just telling you. That's how I look at it.
You see, that's I don't know about that one. It would have to be a pretty good trade.
You want to bring up McKay.
The only reason why I say that is because I see the lack of aggressiveness on the D, and he's one of your most aggressive D-men. So if you trade him and you replace him with an even lesser guy, now what do you got on D?
No, I don't want to replace him with
You're
Jones.
going to have a bunch of soft pansies back there.
I don't want to replace him with Jones, though. I want to replace him with Matthews.
You're trading him for somebody.
Right.
Presumably,
If I had to package him,
somebody has to fill that spot.
If I had what's his name? Mack? Is his name Mackey or McKay?
They call it Mackey.
Okay. I'd bring up Mackey. You still got Zach Jones sitting on the fucking bench.
I got news for you. You're not a good GM. There's no way they're trading Lindgren.
I am a good GM.
There's no, but you see, you play GM like you can do it. You can't do it. He's just one of those guys that they won't do it to. That's
all right.
I've been there and seen it. Okay, they're not going to do it. It would take a shitload of gold coming back to include him in a trade. Here you go. What are you
I need this motherfucker right here.
You mean this one right here?
I need this motherfucker right here. Okay?
Mine's
I don't give a fuck. Listen.
Mine's nicer.
The New York Rangers traded away Mike Gartner, historically one of the best right wings goal scorers in the game. Traded him away the year they won this fucking thing right here. This thing. I don't care. I need this. Got to have this.
Are you sure they didn't trade him the year before?
They traded him in '94. I was heartbroken.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Traded the year before. I want to make sure.
I'm positive. I was heartbroken. Heartbroken when they traded Mike Gartner. I was like, what the fuck are you doing, Neil Smith?
Well, Neil Smith pulled the right triggers, that's for sure.
Listen, at the end of the day, I want the Stanley Cup, man.
I do too, but again,
listen, the Rangers traded away Brian Leach.
Yeah, but you traded Brian Leach when he was like 38 years old.
I get it. They still traded him.
Oh, for fuck's sakes! What are you trying to say? He was on his last. He wasn't even on his last leg when he got traded to Boston and Toronto. Come on,
I know, but
Brian Leach is one of the greatest players ever played a game.
He should have been a Ranger till the day he died. He should have never worn
another. But they got something for him, at the time. So, but he was not. Brian Leach was at the end of his career.
I get it. I'm kidding. I'm just fucking around. I'm fucking around. But still, Brian Leach.
Anybody's tradable for the right thing. But there's a lot of times where I know organizations will not trade certain guys because it will kill the fan base. And that's just the way it works.
Yeah. Well, I mean, come
on. For a star player, okay, I'm not naming anybody here. You have a star player on your team that's been there for 3 to 5 years or more. The fans adore them. The sweaters, the jerseys, they all sell out like crazy. And you're going to trade them?
So you're saying
it doesn't happen. Doesn't happen that often. It's very rare that happens. Because that GM knows that if he fucks up that trade, that's the end of his fucking career too.
Gotcha. I don't consider Lingard a star player.
But I don't think I think he's one of those guys that they're not thinking about trading. That's all.
Understood. So let me ask you a question. If they want to fill a hole and somebody wants that player, what do you do?
What do you do?
Yeah.
I want to fill a hole and somebody wants that player.
So
obviously, I want to bamboozle you and you give me the world for him. That's what I want.
I get it.
Well, that's the way it works.
All right. So you got to fill that right wing flank on that line. What are you willing to do for it?
I'll be honest with you. I think the Rangers are in a position right now that you can't give away very much to get that guy now.
Yeah. I don't disagree.
You know, they're winning. They're winning the way it is. If you can get somebody like Tarasenko lot-wise or a Vetrano-wise and only give up like a second rounder and a third rounder, yeah, you do it.
Sure.
But you're not going to give up an Othman. You're not going to give up, any of these guys like Sakura or Perreault that's leading the NCAA in scoring right now. You're not going to give any of that shit up. Okay,
you're not going to give up the youth. I agree.
You know what I mean? You're not gonna. And I'm just giving you the facts. I think the team right now, yeah. Would I like to see another scorer on the team? I think every team in the league would want another scorer. Would I like to see another tough guy on the defense there that plays like Connor McKay does? Absolutely. But it's all a matter of juggling the lineup, the salary cap. What do you got to get? What do you got to give? You know, who wants this? Who wants that? Who don't you trust? Who do you trust? There's so much that goes into it. You know?
Mike Gardner was traded to the Toronto Maple Leafs for Glenn Anderson.
Who?
Mike Gardner was traded to the Maple Leafs for Glenn Anderson March 21st, 1994.
And do you know how many games Glenn Anderson played actually on the New York Rangers that year?
I get it. I'm just telling you, I was heartbroken. I'm just telling you. He was a very dynamic guy.
Glenn Anderson's a six-time Stanley Cup winner. I got nothing bad to say about the guy, but do you know what he contributed that year? Not very much. Look it up.
I get it.
Look it up.
A couple biggies, though.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Look it up.
He scored a couple biggies.
Okay. Go ahead. Look it up.
At the end of the day, my point is you traded away Mike Gardner.
The problem, yeah, but that was that. I can guarantee you one thing right now. That was not a trade that Neil Smith wanted to make. That was a trade that Sergeant Schultz there, what's his name, Mike Keenan, wanted to make because he didn't like Mike Gardner.
Yeah, I agree.
Listen, that team won a Stanley Cup, you know, and I know why they won the Stanley Cup. You know why they won the Stanley Cup? Because Mark Messier and the veterans of that team took over that dressing room. Yeah. I know stories personally from guys on that team that told me.
Yep.
When Keenan came in to try to rip somebody apart, which he usually did throughout his whole career, tried to embarrass people in front of his whole team, they told him to get the fuck out of the room. And he did.
Yeah. That team was fucking loaded, though. Messier, Graves, Leach, Zubov, Olsen, Tikkanen, Steve fucking Larmer, Mike Richter, Jeff Bukabu. That fucking team was loaded. That team had every component covered.
You know what? When you look at that team, they had probably really two only superstars at the time. Messier and Leach.
Yeah.
Real superstars, Paulie. We're talking superstars, all-star guys.
I get it.
And Adam Graves was not an all-star. Remember that. Okay? But he did score. What they did is they put together a team with the right fittings. Guys that knew their roles. Joey Kosher knew what he had to do. Esa Tikkanen knew what he had to do. You know what I mean? They had that kind of a team. Zubov knew that, hey, if I'm playing with Brian Leach, this is awesome on the power play. Zubov grew from being with Brian Leach. Zubov became a really good offensive player. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think he led the team.
Getting all those guys like Hudson and what's the guy, the defenseman they got from Vancouver, the right-handed shot. I can't remember his name now. You know, Jay Wells. No, the right-handed defenseman.
Oh, Doug Lidster.
Yeah, I mean, these guys were not like, they were good hockey players. They weren't stars.
Right.
They were just good, solid veteran players.
Okay.
And it was a perfect fit. Everything fit perfect there. Yeah, like you said it best. They could play any way you want. You want to play tough, we can play tough. You want to play defensive hockey, we can play defensive hockey. And I say it till I'm blue in the face, Ranger blue. Mike Richter should have been the MVP of the playoffs that year.
He was pretty good.
Yes.
Well,
Mike Richter's the reason why they won that Stanley Cup. He was the best goaltender by far in the NHL that year.
In the world, yeah, he was, for sure. Well, that's all I got, man. I've run out of steam.
Yeah. Well, we've gone a little over as usual, but we had a lot to get off our chests, so to say.
Well, I love the new look Rangers with that fourth line. What a difference. What a difference. We were complaining we needed toughness, we needed grit, we needed toughness. And here we have the twin towers between the pit bulls. So it's really good. It's very, very exciting. And
we got less than 2 weeks to go till trade deadline, I believe.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see if they're going to tinker with it like the 94 Rangers did.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that I'm willing to give up that much right now, but we'll see. Yeah.
You'd probably die if there was a blockbuster trade, though. Like 4 guys going out and 4 new guys coming in.
No. Oh, yeah. I would probably die. I don't know that you could do that anymore, really, man. How much of this chemistry can you fuck with on this team,
Well, look at it. It was a different game back in '94. You could do that and get away with it.
Yeah.
You can't do that now.
Yeah.
You just can't. I mean, if you take away, say, 3 out of the top 5 players on every team before they go into the playoffs, I mean, what would they be?
You're done. Yeah, you're done.
Can't do that.
The Rangers, I think, would be would hurt really bad if they lost 1 or 2 of their top players. Can you imagine? Well, so like you said, depth is important, though.
Yeah, depth's important, but that's all. That's the way hockey is. If you don't stay healthy, there's no excuses. You can't use that as an excuse that you didn't stay healthy.
Yeah, Michael, we were talking about that. Obviously, with the way the team is right now, where do you tinker? Do you just tinker a little bit? Do you try to fill a right wing spot? I don't know that Tarasenko or Vetrano, because those are the 2 names, are obtainable for what the Rangers are willing to give up. So we get it. You can't give up nothing and get something. But
there's going to be a lot of quite a few teams that are going to be shopping people. That's for sure.
Sure.
Sure. Because obviously there's a lot of teams that got Bob Hope and no hope of making the playoffs.
Well, and the reason why I said Othman is because apparently he's been playing right wing in Hartford for 3 weeks now. So.
I'm not doubting that, Paulie. I just think right now, do you want to take that chance and have 4 rookies in the lineup, basically, as your forwards?
Yeah.
That's the thing. When things are going good, are you going to add another rook?
Yeah.
Is it worth it?
Well,
I love Othman. Don't get me wrong. I think he's going to be a great player. I think it's time to come, but I don't know about if it's now or not. That's all.
Yeah, playing with Mika, and, you know, and
If it does come, so be it.
if he can get hot, you never know, you know. But anyway, all right. Well, that's it for me.
That's it for me too.
I got to go to work tomorrow, actually.
You got to work on a Saturday. Oh.
I'll be taking the game and watching it on my phone.
Lotto tickets. I bought my lotto tickets again.
Oh, great. What time's the game tomorrow? Like 3?
I think it's 3:00, and it's on that national TV garbage.
The Lakers
I hope I don't have to turn on in flat faces there.
Well, good night, everyone.
Ciao, baby.
We'll see you in a week. My estimation is maybe Wednesday.
Whatever day Paulie chooses, that's the day, folks. Just don't worry about it.
Well, no, next week. I'm at the end of the month, man, so I gotta be careful.
See, Paulie's in charge of a lot of people where he works. If Paulie was one of the people, then he could do it anytime, you know. But he's got to check with the people first.
Yeah, we gotta make things happen.
He's a very important person.
So, all right, next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, because we usually do Tuesday, Wednesday. I only picked Friday this week because it was just the best. The best, you know.
There wasn't much hockey on tonight. I think it was only like 3
Yeah,
games.
and I try to go around the Ranger. We go around the Ranger schedule too. So, you know, we go from there.
Yeah.
Anyway, fuck you.
Right. Bye. See ya. Out.